Oh boy. This is gonna be interesting. I'll definitely say that. It's good, man. This is definitely gonna be interesting. Why? Why is it all times these guys of all people? These guys. That ain't fair, man. That ain't fair. Hi, Faye. What is going on with everybody? Hope you are enjoying your day. I am trying to enjoy my day when all of a sudden I get news that Le'Veon is going to the Chiefs. That kind of that pretty much ruined my day. That pretty much ruined my day. If you are not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, then hearing Le'Veon Bell's going to the Chiefs does not make you happy at all, especially if you're in the AFC. Now, if you're in the NFC, this doesn't affect you at all because at the end of the day, you're going to face off with somebody. You're right now, if you're in the NFC, you're worried about who you got to deal with. If you're not a Seahawks fan, you're worried about Russell Wilson. If you're not a Green Bay fan, you're worried about Aaron Rodgers. You're just worried about those teams. But in the AFC, we got to deal with this nonsense. And I'm a Ravens fan, so I definitely got to deal with this. And this one's personal for me and for a lot of Ravens fans because Le'Veon Bell used to destroy our defense, man. When he was with Pittsburgh, he used to wreck our defense every time. And now the guy that was giving us trouble, when he finally left the Steelers, all the Ravens fans were like, good riddance, man. That guy was killing us. Steelers, for them to get rid of a guy like that, whew, that saves us a trouble. Well, here we are, like what, 2, 3 years later, he's back and he's with Kansas City, which is 10 times worse now. So, yeah, that's the situation we're in. Kansas City Chiefs is going to be unstoppable. With this offense, man, they already have so much weapons on the offense. Now you're adding Le'Veon. This is insanity, man. Nobody is ready for this. I don't think any team's ready to deal with this right now. Like, what is anybody gonna do with this? It's crazy, dog, but I'm not sure any team in the AFC right now is ready to take on this team. NFL won't be fun for non-KC fans at the end of the decade. You know what? It's interesting. Even with sports, the NBA is probably the one that I can point to for the most. But when you get a super team like that just dominates, we assume that it's going to be around for like a long time. But 10 years is a long time. We don't know what can happen in 10 years. Everyone thought the Warriors dynasty was going to last for a long time. It lasted 5 years. And after that, the league just reset it. And now the Lakers hold the keys to the table. Maybe they go for a couple years. Who knows? But with the NFL, things change quick. And even unless you get a team like the Patriots, which was the rare occurrence, and now everyone believes the Chiefs are going to be that occurrence, who knows? But for the most part, it's very interesting when you see that it doesn't last as long as most people think it's going to last. So maybe this lasts longer. Who knows? I don't know. But at least for right now, they have top billing. They definitely have top billing. Oh yeah, Jonas, you're from KC, so you're loving this right now. Ain't gonna stop. Yeah, y'all. I got Chiefs fans here. What's going on, guys? Y'all ain't gonna be stopped right now. Y'all are not gonna be stopped. And you know what? I blame Raiders fans. I blame the Oakland Raiders for this because if you guys didn't beat them, they wouldn't have felt the need to get this guy. In all reality, they probably still would have got him, but we got to put the blame on somebody. So thanks a lot. Y'all go to Las Vegas and all of a sudden you decide, let's just ruin the league by making Kansas City so much better. He went from the worst team to the best team in 24 hours. You know what? Honestly, usually you'll be like, he don't deserve it. But anyone who's coming away from Adam Gase deserves to be on the contending team. I mean, look at Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill was not looking great in Miami with Adam Gase. He goes to the Titans, and now that Titans is a legit contender. So, hey, for Le'Veon to go from the Jets to the Kansas City Chiefs and now have an automatic chance to compete for a title, lucky him. Lucky him. The Chiefs are overrated. You've seen the Raiders destroy them. I mean, again, when it comes to that one in that situation, it's a divisional type game. Heck, the Ravens last year we lost to Cleveland. What 40-25? These things happen with divisional games. It's always weird. You never know how it's gonna go. For some reason, it just happens. Even with Brady, when he was dominating in the AFC East, for some reason, when he went to Miami, he just couldn't win. So the Raiders beating them, that's definitely interesting. But I don't know. When it comes to divisional games, I'm never going to be like, well, this team destroyed them, so obviously this team's winning. Nah, divisional games are always weird. Yeah, even Pittsburgh last season, they didn't have Ben Roethlisberger, yet they literally took the Ravens to the brim that first matchup. So who knows? The Raiders were gifted 18 points by the refs. I wasn't even really watching that game, so I'm not about to go into the whole situation with that. Y'all go with that. Unrelated. What's your opinion on Flight Reacts? I'm not gonna get on Flight, man. Flight does his thing. Flight don't know much, but I'm not gonna say anything about Flight. I'm not gonna say anything about Flight. That man is doing his thing. I'm not gonna lie, the dude don't know much about basketball, but you don't need to know much about basketball because again, the man's reactions are great. Flight is who he is. He's entertaining. He does his thing. I ain't gonna talk bad about Flight because I don't need his fans coming after me. I'm just a dude chilling over here. But Flight, he be wilding, but you know what? I respect his dedication, man, and he's actually gotten somewhat better in basketball. I'll give him that. Um, let's see here. The Raiders beat them. Yeah, the Raiders beat them fair and square in that game. They definitely. I really wasn't watching that game. I was watching something else. So I don't know how that game goes, but I was actually shocked to see they actually beat Kansas City. So credit to them. Still scared though, because I can't have the Raiders making the playoffs. I cannot have the Raiders making the playoffs. With less home field advantage, do you think KC is more beatable in the playoffs? No. Mahomes and this team has shown that on the road, at home, it don't really matter. They can play in any arena, they can play with any weather. It doesn't necessarily affect them. And now that they've won the championship, it's certainly not going to affect them now. So I just don't see that specifically being an issue. It's definitely some. Oh, look at this. It's definitely something that I look at and I'm like, man, it's tough, but I don't think being on the road is really going to affect these guys. So what happened to no? Hilaire's still there, but they just want more of a veteran running back. They're still going to use Hilaire. He's still there, but they don't want him to be their main guy, at least right now. He's still developing. So having a guy like Le'Veon Bell to take a good amount of carries is definitely going to do a lot because now you got a 1-2, you got a duo here that can do damage. So plus they kind of needed a veteran to take that role because Damian he opted out for the year. Best of luck to him. We know what's going on with him. We're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, they needed somebody to take that role, and now they got their guy in Le'Veon Bell. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Overall, in terms of talent, he's definitely the most talented quarterback in the league. But in terms of this season, I'd put him at number. You could put him at number 2 or number 3. No one's better than Russell Wilson right now. I don't care what you said. Nobody has played the quarterback position better than Russell Wilson this season. Second place, you could choose between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. But number 1 has to be Russell Wilson. Chiefs had 2 touchdowns called back on phantom penalties. You must have not. Yeah, I didn't watch the game. I don't know about that. I'm not going to sit there and say I watched the game. So I don't know what happened. I didn't get to see the game, so I don't know what happened in the penalties. All I saw was that the Chiefs lost. I didn't think they were going to lose that game, but they lost. So it's up to you guys to tell me exactly what happened to that game. I don't know. Ravens trash. Enjoy another throw in the Super Bowl. Cool. Thanks, man. The Chiefs should be 8-1 before the bye. Man, they're 8-1. They're definitely going to be 8-1 before the bye. I don't see any team beating them right now. We'll see, man. Hopefully, the Chiefs and Titans play in the division round so they can take each other out. They're not going to take each other out. Though I would want to see them rematch each other because this Titans team looks so scary. They have not missed a beat from last year, and even as a Ravens fan, I'm looking at them right now. I do not right now with the way our offense is going and how we're struggling, I do not want to have to face off against the Titans right now. We got to get our offense together before we can deal with that. But yeah, Kansas City and Tennessee would definitely be a great matchup in the playoffs. I would love to see that rematch. Do you think Cleveland or Pittsburgh is a bigger threat to the Ravens? Who do I think is a bigger threat between them? I'll still have to say Pittsburgh for the most part. I love what I'm seeing from Cleveland right now. It seems that they've Stefanski's finally taking the advice of what everyone's saying, or maybe was his plan all along. But Finally, they're doing the smart thing. Baker Mayfield is not the guy you should be leading with in your offense. You run the football. You run the football. Your strength is running the football. You run the football, let that set up the pass. Don't give too many complex plays to Baker, and that's how they're going to win game. You got talent. Utilize the talent. Don't put it all on Baker and say, let him throw 35 times. They've been doing that this season, and they're 4-1. So it's working out well for them. But if you ask me, I still got to pick Pittsburgh. They've always been the biggest threat. I never pick against Pittsburgh in the AFC. When it comes to who's the biggest threat, it's always going to be Pittsburgh until somebody shows me something different. So if Cleveland could keep playing like this, and the next time we meet up, if they destroy us or something like that, maybe I might want to put them at that spot. But it's got to be Pittsburgh right now. What's your opinion on Michael Vick as a player? I like Michael Vick as a player. He was one of the most exciting players. He was definitely the player I was watching growing up, which is why I love Lamar as my quarterback for the most part. But yeah, I love Vic. He never really lived up to his potential early on in his career because of him not really taking it seriously or training enough, which is something Michael Vick himself has admitted. So had he really lived up to his potential, he honestly could have taken his team to the Super Bowl and possibly won a championship. Who knows? But his career is always going to be one of the most interesting careers in NFL history. And all these mobile quarterbacks we're seeing right now, it's all attributed to him, even though Vic wasn't the first one. But yeah, I enjoyed Vic's career. It was an interesting career. His comeback with Philadelphia that one year was interesting. So yeah, I enjoyed Vic's career. Chiefs winning the Super Bowl this season. Most likely they're gonna win the Super Bowl this season unless another team finds a way to beat them. There's contenders, but I don't know. You just gotta match up with them. It's gotta be your night. I don't know. I just don't look. I look at the Chiefs right now. I don't see any team beating them in the playoffs. I love Mahomes, but Russell's kind of better than him. But Mahomes is going to be number one at the end of the season. We'll see. We'll definitely see if he's number one at the end of the season. But yeah, Russ is definitely number one right now. Russell Wilson is the best quarterback in the league right now. That's not really a debate. He's the best right now. Give the man his credit because this guy right now is just playing at such a high level. Did y'all? I know y'all caught that game, man. Coming up in the clutch, this man Russell Wilson went 94 yards to win the game. And he didn't use the only timeout they used was a timeout they was that timeout on 4th and goal. Russell Wilson's been the best quarterback in the league, man. That drive was beautiful by them. Hey, what's going on, Village Boy? Ravens fans, okay, I'm just they like to suck Lamar off. Like, I ain't finna I ain't gonna lie, there are a lot of Ravens fans that do the most with Lamar. I'm not one of them. I'm always gonna keep the truth about my quarterback. I was hard on Flacco. I'm hard on Lamar. I'm never gonna be the one that say Lamar is the best here and there. I keep it real. I'm not one of those fans that are gonna be like, my quarterback's the best and he's far superior. No, no, no. I'm not gonna do that. There are Ravens fans that do that. That's their choice. I'm not gonna be one of those guys. I feel like I'm gonna just not watch the rest of the season. Well, you still gotta watch the rest of the season. You don't know who's gonna win. Even though Kansas City is the favorite, it doesn't guarantee them to win. Remember, Jesus, guys. Remember, the Patriots in '07 went 18-1. You never know who's going to win. You don't know what could happen. Yeah, the Chiefs can go on to win the rest of their games, but they may be beating the Super Bowl, or maybe they go one and done. You don't know what could happen. I can see any of the undefeated teams defeat the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, I mean, you guys definitely have a great shot to beat them. I don't know if you guys play them. If you guys play them this season, I don't know the Titans schedule. I know you guys play us in like week 11, but unless that got changed around due to the whole situation we're dealing with. But like, yeah, I could see I'm not Kansas, Tennessee beating the Chiefs, but that would be one hell of a game to watch. That would definitely be a great game to watch. That is not the Lamar Jackson that the Ravens knew from last season. Yeah, Lamar has not been playing like an MVP this season. And part of that has to deal with the fact that defenses have definitely made adjustments to him himself. So it's up to Lamar to make those adjustments himself and make those improvements. Because right now, teams are throwing out different schemes. They're doing just a bunch of different defensive schemes to Lamar, and he and this offense have to work it out. Not to mention they're not in sync, and the play calling is not as great as it was last season. So Lamar himself has some work to do, but overall, our offense has some work to do. Hate the Hawks, but Russ is underrated. Yeah, Russ is definitely underrated. Honestly, the biggest reason I feel Russell Wilson is underrated is because of what happened. in Super Bowl 49. If he doesn't make that throw if he doesn't make that throw and it's not intercepted by Malcolm Butler at the 1 yard line, Russell Wilson's sitting here as a two-time champion. And at that point, no one's questioning him. But because he made that pass and because they lost that Super Bowl, people have kind of forgotten what Russell Wilson does. And that sucks because he's been a top 5 quarterback for a good chunk of years. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he never gets that respect. The fact that he has yet to receive a single MVP vote makes no sense. Though this season, you're going to have to give him the MVP. I don't know how you don't give him the MVP at this point. He has to get it. Is this the equivalent to the 07 Patriots offense? You can argue this offense is better than the 07 Patriots. You can make that argument, honestly. There's so much talent on this Chiefs offense. You can make an argument that they're better than the 07 Patriots offense. Maybe I should make a video about that. But I don't know. I'm not going to do that right now. Lamar Jackson's trash. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. He's still going to be my quarterback. You feel how you feel. I feel like he's a good quarterback. I don't really feel like arguing with that. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, man. Mahomes is Snoop Dogg. Russell Wilson is mystical, and he played awful against the Vikings. Well, I mean, he didn't play exactly awful. I mean, I believe he threw a pick in that game. He didn't play awful. It wasn't like clearly wasn't his best game of the season, but he didn't play completely awful against the Vikings. Though I will admit that interception late in the fourth quarter was just terrible by him, but he made up for it by going on that 94-yard drive. The quarterbacks aren't going to have their best game every single week, but at some point, you got to find a way to win the game. That's just how it is. You're not going to perform at your best every single week. Mahomes not going to go out there and throw 4 touchdowns every single game. He's going to have games where he struggles. But at the same time, you got to be able to figure out how to win the game. When you're not at your A game, how can we come together as a team and find a way to win the game? That's just how you do it. That's what makes quarterbacks great. Even when you're not playing at your best, you find a way to win. And Russell Wilson found a way to win against the Vikings. So I got to give him my credit. Marlon Humphrey is a dog. Marlon Humphrey's the best. I don't care. He's the best corner in the league. I don't care what y'all say. He's the best corner in the league. And right now, he's a defensive MVP. This guy he's insane. He's been beasting and feasting. Every game, he's forcing a turnover. That fist of his is like just punching the ball out. He's the best right now. I don't know what to say about him. He's the best right now. Is it me or is Lamar having a down year? Well, I mean, yeah, it's obviously, well, part of me wants to say yes, but at the same time, through 5 games, he's actually performing better here than he did in the 5 games last season before he broke out. So it's kind of difficult to say he's having a down year if you look at how he's playing because it's actually better than the way he was playing early in the season. But hey, I don't know. He's not playing like the MVP. He's not playing up to an MVP level that he left off in last season. We'll just see if he gets to that level eventually. He should because, again, he's a reigning MVP. He's got to get back to that level.